So when I say, get back in the garden, get back in this spot on the earth where the presence of God is an open door and a delightful place. Come on, say, I'm getting back in the garden. Because this is why this is important, because some of you, unbeknownst to you, one more time for 2020, some of you, unbeknownst to you, have gotten into the garden of the pandemic. You've gotten into the garden of COVID-19. You've gotten into the garden of lack, and some of you don't even realize it, but God knows it because he's been looking at you all year long saying, where are you? You're not in the spot. You're not in the presence. You're not in the delight. You're too stressed out because, listen, you wouldn't be so stressed if you were in the spot. Come on, say, get back to Eden. Every time God created anything, he always made the environment first. I said, every time God created anything, he always makes the environment first. When God created the fish, he made the water first. When he created plants, he made the soil first. When God created the stars, he made the firmament first. When God created me, you and I, Adam, he made the garden first. So God made the atmosphere, he made the environment, he made the culture, he made the spot, he made the moment, he made the presence, he made the open door, he made the delightful place more important than the product. God makes the environment or the culture more important than the product. All right, watch this. You know why? Here's why. You know why? Because fish need water. Plants need soil. Stars need firmament. Mankind need Eden. If you take a fish out of water, it malfunctions and dies. You take a plant out of the soil, it malfunctions and dies. You take stars from the sky, they malfunction and die. You take a man, you take you and I out of God's presence, and we start hurting other people. We start getting offended. We start abusing other people. We start getting divorced. We start walking away from church. When you and I are in the presence of God, we're at our best. You seen that fish when they get out of that water? Anybody like fishing? Anybody like fish? You fish before? You know, you got your bucket with some water in it, so when you take them off the hook, you put them in the fish. But you ever seen that fish not fall in the bucket, but fall on the boat or fall on surface? That fish out of that water, he starts to malfunction. Well, that's how it looks when we're not in the presence of God. All right, watch this now. All right. Could it be that most believers have been outside of their environment or their culture in most of 2020 and had to work extra hard because you were outside of where you were supposed to be? That fish is working extra hard. Listen, when they're in the water, they just glide. It's all smooth. It's a smooth situation. But as soon as they get out of the water, they're working extra hard. Could it be that some of us, I won't say all, but some of you all have been working extra hard in 2020 because you've been outside of the culture that God created for you? If you've been realizing your authority over little mood swings, over little stuff has been causing you, stuff been holding you longer than it should be, it might be you're not in your right spot. The kingdom is portable. See, if you think the Garden of Eden is somewhere over there in the Middle East or whatever, then you think you never can get there. But the reason why they can't locate it because it's not in no particular spot. When you understand kingdom culture, and I'm a child of the kingdom go wherever I go. Now, I grew up on snow globes like this. My mom used to always have them in the house. I ain't gonna whine, I ain't gonna twist it because some of y'all will fall asleep. Please stop playing Silent Night. But my wife bought me this. My wife bought me this last year, and she bought me a new one. This is 2019. She bought me a new one for this Christmas. Bought me a new one, got our picture. But I love this. I love this. You know why? Because I know Brian Goodnight and Boys to Men. They sing that song. Okay, but I buying that in Jesus' name. I mean, I ain't my little sprinkle, bro. I ain't trying to be We already in the pandemic. I ain't trying to be locked in some more. So I ain't really saying let it snow. But see, with this snow globe, I can bring the culture of the snow with me wherever I go. If I want to go sit over there and let it snow, I just shake it and it starts snowing. If I want to get in my car while I'm studying, this is why I do my stuff. While I'm studying, I just shake it up and say, look, it can be July. I'm like this, it's snowing. Because I'm able to bring the culture of the snow, because I'm able to bring this along with me. Well, as a kingdom citizen, I should be able to bring the culture of the kingdom wherever I go. I don't have to be in church. That's why everybody ain't called the pulpit ministry. On your job, you bring that culture with you. Around your girlfriends, you bring that culture with you. David was a man after God's own heart. David, King David. He's a picture of the kingdom in the Old Testament. He was a man, he wasn't perfect, but he was a man after God's own heart. The kingdom belonged to him. But when, watch this, hurry up, Jay. But when the boys got lined up at his daddy's house, he wanted part of the lineup. But because he was a man after God's own heart, God had to make sure, I don't care who you put in front of me, that ain't who I want. They look like it, but that ain't who I want. 2021, it's gonna be some people who look like it, but they ain't gonna be who God wants. It's gonna be some other churches that look like it, but they ain't gonna be the church that God wants. And when I found out what God will do is when you seek first the kingdom, I found out he'll step over stuff to get to you. If it's a pandemic, he'll step over a pandemic to get to you. He steps over stuff just to get to you. He stepped over them other sons. Go get me the boy that's out there with them sheep. These look like it, but they not it. I'm looking for some people who got a kingdom agenda.